Hello and welcome to the ProCycle YouTube channel. I'm Tom, and today we're going to be working on a Yamaha XT250. This is actually one of our employee bikes here. It's a 2012, I believe. We're going to be removing this rear tail light section and installing our tail tidy kit. This thing's been around for a little while. Got a little license plate light there. I guess it kind of goes like that actually. Come with this little bracket and it just kind of bolts back into the factory place. We'll come with a new tri-Y connector on there. See if we kind of come up on camera. Boom. It's pretty easy to install. I do want to show you guys this new product here. It's not very expensive. It's a LED light, two functions, high, low, and off. And it clips on to the bill of your hat. Pretty cool. Oscillates up and down. I like to trail ride at night sometimes, and having all the aux lights and everything like that is cool to see out in front of you and kind of off to the side, you know, how headlights do. But this is nice because you ride and you can look down and be like, oh, hey, there's a big rock there. There's a hole. There's, you know, you can look around. You need to pull off, look at your bike for a second, fiddle in your tank bag. This is there. I will admit, some helmets, it's not the tightest fit on. I haven't had an issue with it falling off yet, but like on my Bell MX-9 helmet, this thing is not going anywhere. Let's go ahead and get started on this. What we're going to need to do is remove the seat, the side panel, and then eventually remove this tail section here. Pretty straightforward process. I think you only need a 5mm hex key, 10mm socket, and 8mm socket. Some various, maybe a couple extensions. Wrench can work too as well, and a flathead screwdriver. And depending on your bike, if wires are zip tied, you might need some wire cutters to cut those zip ties so we can remove that brake wire cable on the other side of the bike there. I'll spin this around, we'll get the cameras going so you can see what's happening. All right, we got the bike spun around now. We're gonna get the side panel and the seat off. I don't believe that there's any specific orientation. I think you can take either off without, you know, having to do the other first. So there is one 5mm hex key on the side panel here, and then two rubber bungs that the side panel pops into, and then the seat, there's two 8mm bolts here. Get the camera over there when we go do those, but we're gonna do the side panel first. Test my theory. Theory was disproven. All right, got those off. Now I can lift the seat up, slide it out. We've got to remove this top rack as well. There's, on this, it's a Flatlands Racing top rack. It's actually really nice, looks really good on the bike, but there are two 4mm bolts holding that in place. There it goes. Okay, on our XT250, we've got two 8mm bolts here, and then there'll be two more down under here, mounting the fender to the little metal piece that kind of comes down off the subframe there. And then there'll be two 10mm bolts or nuts, if I remember right, holding this part to the fender here. All right, we can go ahead and use this time too to take our license plate off. Now, there's a wire that runs from the tail light underneath through the subframe here or along down and to this connector right here. We need to disconnect that so we can pull this out, install our new components, and install this all back together. I'll bring you in for a closer look so you know more or less what you're actually looking for. So this is where your flathead will kind of come into play here. There's a little tab on this, kind of lift up gently and pull. Pull with your hand. Don't push. Don't push with the screwdriver. That's how we get stitches. Now that we have this disconnected here, there's a couple, one or two of these factory zip tie cable stay things here. We're just gonna loosen that up so we can work our cable out of it. Now, lift this here. Pull this out, be careful. Our brake cable was ran through this little box there. So underneath the fender here, and turn it so you can see, there are two 10mm bolts. I'm going to take those out, and then this portion will separate from this portion. Pull all the way out. Alright, in your tail tidy kit from us, you will get a cool LED tail light, and then, not the wrench, get this funky looking bracket here, right? Okay, then you'll get some odd, couple nuts, couple lock washers, and regular washers as well. Small ones, got here. We're gonna go into this, so we're gonna go ahead and get ahead of myself here. Run the cable through. And if you're curious how this goes on, so we got the back of the tail light here. You can see these kind of little L's bent into the bracket. Those will face towards the front of the bike, kind of as you're installing it, right? And then the studs will poke through here. You don't have to wrench down on these super tight. If you do, those studs will pull right out of this plastic housing here, okay? Lock washer is good enough. I mean, like 1 finger tight. That's all you need. You don't need a lot. And then this will run through the fender, and those two 10mm bolts that we removed earlier with those spacers, we're going to be just using the two 10mm nuts that come in the kit to cinch this to the fender. I'll turn my hat light on, run the wire through here, that middle upper hole. And then studs are going to go into those holes there, like so. Alright, so now we're going to take our wire and run it through this little box here. You don't have to. I just like knowing that it's there and it's centered. It'll help to feed the little clips in over here to connect the fender to the side panel on that side. Be mindful of your turn signal wires as you're pushing down on that. We're going to go ahead and put our two 8mm bolts back in here. Going to remount fender here. Put our top rack on, our seat and side panels, and then we're done. Test our work, of course. Alright, so you're going to be left with 2 more nylon nuts and washers. And we're going to reuse, oops, there we go, reuse 2 of these little flanged 8mm bolt. They're going to go right through here. Alright, just snug those up pretty good. and we're done there. On your fender, there should be 2 rubber plugs here. Go ahead and remove those. If they're already gone, you're one step ahead in the process. We're going to go ahead and mount our license plate using the bottom holes, but ours just doesn't quite go in far enough, so we had to drill 2 holes in your plate.
Come on, let me breathe. Come on, let me breathe. Come on, let me breathe.
Listen, Linda. Now it's time to test our work. Go ahead and key on. Hey, got running light. We've got license plate night, front brake, and rear brake. We're gonna put our side panel back on, then our seat and the top rack, and then send Jeff down the road because this bike is done.
I'm so strong. Bring me the legacy. I'm so fun. I feel like an energy go inside my mind. Hey, see, I'm so fun. Come on, let me breathe.
So this concludes the install of a ProCycle tail tidy kit for the XT250. Got rid of all that big bulk back there. We got a nice LED light in there. LEDs are way better than incandescent bulbs. They react faster, they're brighter, they use less power overall. It looks sleeker, modernizes the bike a little bit, gives it a nice touch. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed every second of this, like we know you probably do on all of our videos, give us a thumbs up, follow the channel, subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to our newsletter. You can go to our website and you can get logged in on that pretty easily. A lot of cool stuff coming down the pike as well for XT, TW, XR, 650L, DR650, and maybe a few other bikes, Tenere 700, and who knows what else is going to happen. Stick around. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom with ProCycle, and remember, your adventure begins here. Bye. All right, let's see how this looks.
Break it down, now, feed it down.